Welcome back to PR After Hours. I'm your host, Alex Greenwood, bringing you your weekly cocktail of PR and marketing tips that will help you and your business. Stick around, we'll get started right after these messages. Hello, listeners. It's me, Alex, from PR After Hours. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. And I wanted to talk to you just for a moment about the way I get this show right into your earbuds every week. It's because I use Anchor FM. Now, I've told you previously that I've been podcasting since 2006, back when we used stone knives and bear skins and a couple of Dixie cups and string. Anchor FM has really streamlined this and made it simpler for people who don't know the first thing about setting up a podcast or don't have, time to learn all the pro tools and stuff, because it's all right here. First thing it's important to know is it's free. There are certain tools that will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. That's huge. Distribution is a big pain in the butt, to be honest with you, so it's really great Anchor FM can do that for you, and you're not paying hosting fees. That adds up every month. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place, so download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started, and be sure to join me in the virtual cocktail lounge on PR After Hours. Hey folks, we're going to get to our interview with Peg Liebert in just a moment. Wanted to let you know she's in the midst of getting ready for Super Bowl, and so much is going on. And our connection got a little wonky here and there, but I think you can hear most of the good parts. So bear with us. It's a great episode, and I hope you enjoy it. During the summer of 1989, Tim and Peg Liebert had a vision to start a catalog business that contributed to the local Kansas City area economy by selling gift boxes with locally made artisanal products. While Tim worked as an engineer, Peg went to work on Mabel's Kitchen. This was when going up against the rise of big box stores was not recommended, and many thought she was just another soccer mom with a hobby that wasn't going to pay for itself. Well, with the help of her husband and 3 children, the catalog Mabel's Kitchen turned into 5 brick and mortar stores called the Kansas Sampler. Over time, licensed sports apparel for local teams began to play a bigger part of the company. And after a good year in 2008, and despite the recession, the Lieberts decided to expand to other markets, and Rally House was born. 11 years and 30 years, Rally House has grown to 10 states and over 60 stores with the same goal of selling local products. So I'll just say, folks, if you're a local sports fan here and where I am, Kansas City area especially, even though I know they're elsewhere, this is the first stop for your sports fan gear. And it's a very special big game is on the way. So we're really lucky to have Peg here. Rally House founder Peg Liebert, welcome to PR After Hours.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's good to have you. Do you ever look back over the past 30 years or so and just think, I can't believe it went from that to this?
Oh, for sure. For sure. In fact, I started kind of writing a bit of a memoir about the first years. And even as I wrote the first years and what all we did to survive and make it, I don't even believe my own story. And I lived it. I don't even believe it. It was never like something I thought about it. I just it was something my husband really wanted, and he knew that I had a lot of creative ability. So he kind of said, here's an idea, and if it's not right at first, I know you'll listen to the customers and make it work. And that's kind of how we launched it, and grew from listening to the customers. Got lucky after we opened our first store, which was a very quick opening, that KU was in a Final Four, and somebody came around and said, you want to carry Final Four shirts? And I knew what that meant. And I took off. We had taken our dining room furniture, some of it in to be props in our new store. So basically, I took Kansas history books off, and that's how we kind of launched into the sporting, having the teams along with the Kansas products. And so then we kind of like, well, how do you even tie this all together? How do you call this one store? And so basically we decided we would promote the area through local stuff and our local teams.
It seems like you seized on something that to a lot of people probably sounds very simple, but it really it really wasn't, because you're one of those folks who identified something that is it's almost a primal tribal need of people, which is to support their team. And people take their sports incredibly seriously. They do around here, and yet you seized on that. And did you know right away that wow, we got something here, lightning in a bottle?
Well, one reason I think first of all, I seized on it when I was a young girl, like 11, my sister went to KU and she gave me a KU sweatshirt, a black one. It
Uh,
had a cool Jayhawk on it. And I had a black skirt, and I read, and it was one of my outfits. And then when we had our first child, Aaron, who's the CEO, I got him a little KU sweatshirt. So I did feel that that people want to be connected to their university. Basically, saw it through the numbers. So that's how we seized on it. You seized on anything. So that was kind of how we grew. It's like, okay, that'll pay the interest. Let's get a little bit more of that.
Very cool. Now, one thing I love about your websites for Raleigh House is it tells your story really well, and they're that's great and all that. But you've got a motto there, and your motto is magnificent. And I think this speaks to something that everybody should think about with their own brands, whether you're retail or you're providing a service. But your motto is to delight our customers.
Yes, yes. That's just always kind of been our motto. We're kind of lucky because our customers are pretty delighted anyway because they're buying for their teams. But if
Right.
there's a controversy or something, we do try to err on delighting them. And then we've also grown it into delighting them by treating them as friends. So one reason we kind of felt really good about the name Rally House is this business actually started in my house, and I had open houses and people came in. So we really talked to our staff about they're inviting them to our house, and we're kind of throwing it into we're inviting you to a party. This is, have fun, shopping's
Right.
fun. So we try to be cheerful too.
I moved here 15 years ago. Indirectly, I came through Nebraska, but I'm from Oklahoma. And I remember talking to my then girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, and I said, where can I get some Chiefs gear? Because I'm a new Chiefs fan. And she's like, oh, whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah. She started talking about. She said, well, there's this great place. It's called Rally House. Oh, okay, I'll go check that out. And when I went in there, I saw all this great stuff, and everybody was super nice. But the one thing I was thinking, well, I know one thing they're not going to have here, because I saw all this KU and Mizzou. So I thought they're not going to have any Sooner stuff. Boy, was I wrong. Do you
Right.
do it that? Is it geographic? Do you for each store, do you pick kind of the like a certain geographic area to, like, if you're a store in New Jersey, you're not carrying KU stuff, right? So
Right. No, it is kind of about, stores touching the region, and a store having enough room. So you were obviously in our superstore. But
yep.
right from the beginning, we always added, we were a Kansas sampler, but we always had Missouri. So when we went to Missouri, we had KU. So we consider it a region. But it makes that in our company, no two stores are exactly alike, even in a town. Like right now in this city, there's no two stores that have all the same product, because like up in Lee Summit, our new store, we don't have Oklahoma. Well, we don't have like Wichita State or some of the smaller colleges that we have in Kansas. And in Kansas, we don't have Missouri State. So we take the bigger schools, but we just have to limit to how much we can have. So we had a real problem in Texas because Texas has so many teams. We thought we'd go in with 4 teams. Then we were like, well, no, we need SMU, we need North Texas. So we got more involved in soccer. That was like one more pro team than we're ready for. So that has caused us to enlarge our stores because they really just wouldn't handle the products. So Town Center, we enlarged. And this year at Plaza, we did a second store as a pop-up store because the original store just wouldn't hold it all. So we have 2 stores just to hold what one store should hold. Yeah. So I think that's the hardest part in our company, is that no 2 stores are alike, or
Yeah.
that I could have lots of one team Like I have a lot of Cavaliers product, and that is not going to help me when I need 76ers product. So
Right.
it's a harder business model than people realize, but it also, because we take on the challenge, makes us more unique than it.
Peg, is it difficult to narrow down to certain products? I mean, obviously, as you said, there's a finite amount of space in the store, but I'm wondering, before I get too deep in the question, do you offer a lot on the website? Is that stuff that's often not in the store, or is everything on the website also in a store typically?
Well, like all that KU product is not probably in every store. So you would have to look to see which one. And in fact, we're kind of starting that concept even more so we can have more on the website. We're calling these four stores are A, and that way we can give them each different product. But on the website, we have, like, say we gave them each four sweatshirts. But on the website, that would give us 12. So we're really enhance our website. And we're one of the few companies, and this happened a few years ago, we were really struggling to make it work. We are actually fulfilling if you're ordering in Philadelphia, you'll get it in one day because it's coming from your region.
Right.
So yes, not everything you see on the website will be at any certain store. You do have a way that you can look and see.
Oh, good.
Like
good.
You can look to see what store has it.
If you've never been to a rally house or you've been to the website, you're going to find out it's not just jerseys. I mean, I'm looking at the site right now. You can apparently get a Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes barbecue apron. You can get Chiefs Spirit Sportula barbecue tools. You can get a Chiefs #1 fan barbecue grill mitt, which I need, by the way, because it also can be like a foam finger. It can double for both in the living room. You've got all this wonderful stuff there. And I'm just curious though, because I mean, there's literally in the bigger stores, especially, there's so much stuff. Obviously, I don't expect you to tell us proprietary secrets, but how long do you give an item to see if it's a go or not before you're like, okay, that certain magnet's just not a good seller? How long do you give one? A season? How's that like?
We actually believe it has to be. We should have ordered it for the right reason that we needed it. We are trying to have it where we don't have to do that, but to get it to the right store, because we are willing to invest for the customer. So like we keep sweatshirts in the summer because somebody comes in from like Colorado to see their parents, and this is their once a year shopping. So we have sweatshirts. So we don't sell out as much as you do for other concepts, because we kind of became the long tail of retail before they even knew that word. And people would say, well, 80% of your product, 20% of your product is 80% of your profit. We just looked at them, and we just looked at them. We're like, wow, do you know how many items today I sold just one of? One keychain, one license plate, one barbecue. It's the variety that we sell. So yeah, we keep it a long time because you either want it or you don't, is the way we look at it.
Right. It's interesting. My sister comes in from Oklahoma City to visit, and it never fails. She'll disappear part of her visit and come back. And then when she leaves, she gives us a little gift from Rally House to thank us for having her. And we got it proudly in our home bar. We have the Chiefs Tiki Gnome. Boy, that tiki stuff is a hit with me. I love that stuff.
That is so cute. Wasn't that cute? That's so cute. Well,
it's the best.
The concept kind of actually started when we were not in business, when we were in Oklahoma, and my in-laws had everything you could want. So I was at this store that had Oklahoma food and kind of gourmet, whatever is gourmet from Oklahoma, but it was different. And so I created a gift basket for them of Oklahoma foods. They really liked it. And so then the other brothers and sisters did the same thing from their state. So we kind of came up with, it is nice to give a regional gift, a regional thank you gift when you go to visit. So that's kind of how it all started, was we actually did it ourselves.
That's great. It's inspiring to hear that too, and it's good that I'm definitely fitting the customer profile here. Then, uh, hey Peg, there is so much I want to ask you, but I know you're extremely busy because apparently there's a very big game coming up just a couple of days after we're recording this. How is it going Super Bowl wise for you right now?
Oh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting, and every time we call these kind of hot market big events, we get better at it. And I was just out setting stores to be ready for the lines that we'll have Sunday night when we win, because we have pre-prints. So the stores are
Right.
actually getting product that nobody can see, putting it back in boxes and getting it ready. And then we're going around stores and making maps for where the customers can zig and zag so they can be in the store, but social distancing. And the cool thing is how much we've learned each time. And the customers have just been great. Sometimes they're like, you don't have that? And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I can't, we try hard, but we try hard to anticipate, but we don't know, we don't have it all, but we try hard. But it's a lot of fun.
People don't really understand that, do they? You get massive shipments like the AFC Championship. They're just sitting there on your loading dock, I guess. You can't do anything with them if God forbid, if we lose, right? What happens to that gear? I mean, you're not on the hook for it, are you?
Oh, yes. We consider it advertising dollars because we feel like we have to have it. And no, it's kind of you're taking a loss when you do that. You're taking a risk. The manufacturer takes some of the, gives you a little bit of a benefit to do that because it helps them. So they help you with that. But no, it's a total loss if we lose. And it was, what we do so people know where the store to come to. And so then the product will go back to the vendor. And it is our hope that, and it's what I thought or think happens, that they recycle the cotton overseas and make new product. But who knows, without going and seeing. But no, that's, and what they also don't realize is how much time even just placing the orders take. And if you lose, that's just time you gave away. And the people, the people we buy from that help us get those orders, that's money they lose. So they're commissioned salespeople that only will get the money on the product that we actually do get in if we win. So at one point, some of those people would go to Las Vegas and bet against the other team to offset if they lose. So
wow.
people are working. People to get here to this point, there are people that could end up spending a couple of weeks of work and not making any money. Yeah. And we also have to, we're doing other teams. We have to project ahead so that we don't run out of a sweatshirt. Like right now, I'm a little low on some used sweatshirts, but that was I had to project that 6 weeks ago. Holy to not cow. Be out of. And while we're doing projections, like we have to project how much we're going to sell at Christmas, because some of the stuff, like for children and youth, we have to order it in December before we've even sold our, that year's Christmas supply. So there's a lot of math. There's a lot of math and probabilities. And my job that I feel I try to help with is paying attention to who's winning. Okay, so-and-so's winning. Are we prepared for that? Right. It's easier for Kansas City because we live here, but the teams that are not here, we still have stores in 10 regions. So right. We have to know about those teams.
Now here's a tough question, Peg. Do you stock Tampa Bay shirts in case they win?
No, I don't think we have those online this year. We might have some Tampa Bay things. We do. We have a lot of things we can get from the vendors we call drop ship. And, we're hoping to learn how to do that, how to have a pop-up store and a team where a team wins, because to take this knowledge that we're learning. Door Union Station.
Right.
They just called us and said, people are coming down and getting their picture taken, by the big chief sign. And we're like, okay, we'll do a pop-up store.
Nice. That's fantastic. Yeah. And this city loves its team. And I know you got to go in a minute, but last question, I'll just ask you, you also do some great stuff with athletes will come in and do autograph sessions, and you'll do special things on occasion with athletes. Is that so?
When they can do that, it's been hard without the autograph time. We used to be able to get some of the seniors in from like KU after they were done with school, then they could earn money to help them get through till they got their jobs. So, that was kind of cool. But yeah, we like to do the autograph session. When we were at Mission Mall, I remember I met Marcus, or I saw him. I always try not to intrude on any celebrity space, so I didn't go introduce myself or anything. It was neat to have him shop our store, and then we have local celebrities that have come in, and all the comedians and stuff, because they're from here. They love our product, and it's fun to see that, and our staff really loves to interact with them.
Oh yeah, all the big slick folks, right? The Jason Sudeikis and Paul Rudd and all. Oh, that's fantastic.
Right.
Well, so I got to ask last question. Have you met Mahomes? Have you met Kelsey?
No. But I will tell you, what was it, 4 years ago after the World Series? We presented all the Royals players with their nice All-Star jersey on the field. So that was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I've actually seen the pictures of that. That's fantastic. Okay, so Peg Liebert, co-founder of Rally House, from humble beginnings, but man, 30 years goes by like a flash, and you're on top of the fan mecca, especially around here. Any last thoughts before you go back to scouting out what you're going to do for Super Bowl?
I think the biggest thing is to let people know how much, as they're working on things. Like I was a volunteer soccer commissioner, I was a volunteer tennis president. All of the volunteer work you do and things you do can help you be ready to be successful.
You can underestimate a soccer mom at your peril, that's for sure.
Oh, and I'll tell you this, because I had to do soccer. I had to have meetings where I taught referees so I could be a soccer commissioner, and nothing's illegal if the referee doesn't see it.
That says it all. Peg Liebert, you have just made my week. I'm excited. Wishing us all, of course, best of luck for the Super Bowl, but wishing Rally House continued success. I will be there after we win to get my shirt. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Alex. I appreciate it.
Oh, you know what that means? Looks like it's last call here at your virtual lounge for PR news, views, and interviews. Don't forget, you can ask me a question anytime. You can do it through our Twitter account, which is @HoursPR. Or, even better, you can send me a message vocally. I would love to hear your voice, and I'll answer it on the show. There's a link in the show notes. All you have to do is sign up through Anchor FM. It's free, doesn't take long, and you record your message. I get the message. I will play your audio. Just give me your first name and the city you live in, and then I will answer the question to the best of my ability right here on the show. Don't forget to, if you're enjoying this podcast, you can support it and help increase the frequency and value of the show. Just consider being a sponsor for your brand or your agency or just yourself because you're like, I like this show. Or just drop a few coins in the virtual tip jar. Either way, there's links in the show notes. Please check that out. All of that, of course, being in the show notes where you're listening right now or at prafterhours.com. I see that they're turning up the lights. Last call is over, and I've got to clean up this virtual lounge. And until next time, I'm Alex Greenwood, and you've been listening to PR After Hours on Anchor FM. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But have you been there, done that, and got the t-shirt? Now's your chance. If you are a big fan of the Virtual Lounge right here at PR After Hours, why don't you tell the world and take our spiffy logo and plaster it across your chest for the whole world to see? Well, for the whole world to see on Zoom or whenever you do finally get out of your house. The PR After Hours tee shows that you're an exclusive member of the Virtual Lounge. It's a cool, comfortable, ring-spun, soft cotton tee. We look for the best possible options we could go for in these t-shirts, and it's in a variety of colors. You can get them in dark heather gray, royal blue, storm, maroon, or good old-fashioned white. These are really comfortable shirts. We offer a premium unisex tee from extra small all the way to 4XL, and a women's slim fit tee, which goes from small to 2XL. They are a hoot, they look cool, and besides, they'll do what we love to do most here at PR After Hours, start a conversation. The PR After Hours t-shirt is available now on Bonfire. The link is in the show notes, and I hope you'll look into getting one. I not only think they look cool and be great conversation starters, but they'll help us keep the Virtual Lounge doors open. Thanks so much.